Welcome back to the Pepsi Cal Sports Report. We're looking behind us here at Evans Diamond, where, believe it or not, the football team is actually going to practice because they've got a couple of games on grass this year. But joining me now is Athletic Director Sandy Barbour. And Sandy, why don't we talk about things like baseball and volleyball last year? I mean, what a performance by the entire athletic department. The third overall in the country program, by far and away the highest, although you consistently you've been in the top 10 the last 6 years.
We've been knocking on the door.
Yeah.
7, 9, 9, 7, 7. We've been in the top 10, but this was a breakthrough year for us, finishing third in the NACDA Directors Cup, and just a great testament to the will and the talent of our student athletes, our coaches, the high performance initiative starting to take hold, and also the community behind us, as certainly last year proved.
Well, and being here at Evans Diamond, we got to talk about the job that the baseball team did. David Esker and the club making it to the College World Series. I mean, through tough times, and you talk about determination and stick-to-itiveness. They really did that and turned in one of the performances of the year at any level from any university.
Well, what a great storybook ending, if you will, to the season for our baseball guys. The program gets saved thanks to the generosity and of a great community. And then they end this particular year on the biggest stage there is for college baseball, the Mecca, Omaha, and the College World Series. So happy for those guys, and and they went and really showed they belonged there by beating A&M and getting another shot at Virginia, and just didn't have enough firepower there at the end.
And now let's transition. Over the summer, the spring and the summer, the big news was the formation of the Pac-12 Conference. How does that directly affect Cal, either from scheduling and all that kind of things, but to monetarily? We've seen so many figures and numbers thrown out there vis-a-vis what schools are going to get. Well, what does it really mean for Cal?
Well, it certainly it changes our schedules in a very dramatic way, but we're able to take those 12 teams. I think one of the great visible end products, if you will, of the Pac-12 is the football championship game, and the divisional structure in football. But if you look at both the ESPN Fox deal and then the Pac-12 networks deal, emphasis on the S, it's going to be 7 networks. The deal that was just struck, it certainly has been monetized, and Larry Scott's done a phenomenal job with that aspect of it, and it'll mean anywhere between $4 and $6 million incremental on an annual basis in year one to us, which as anyone who's been paying any attention to Cal athletics knows, we've had our financial difficulties, and fortunately that new revenue we knew was out there.
And then with the football team not being able to play at Memorial Stadium this year, what's the challenge for not only them but the fans and administration to ensure that they do have a home field advantage, whether it's Candlestick for the first game against Fresno State or the 5 regularly scheduled home games at AT&T?
Well, I think the greatest challenge is to the fans, in order to follow the schedule and know where they can get tickets and know what their, what the seating looks like, etc. Because the guys are going to get on the bus and they're going to go where the bus takes them in terms of playing, and as long as our fans are there, Jeff's done a phenomenal job of instilling the right attitude in our guys. I've heard him say it over and over again. As long as our fans are there, we don't care where we play. We love Memorial Stadium, and we're looking forward to being back in 12. But as long as our fans are there, we're going to be fine. It's going to be a home field advantage for us. So we need to make sure our fans are there and get the fans there. Certainly I think AT&T has got a lot of appeal. I think there's, I think it's a great opportunity for us to be in San Francisco for a year. Again, we don't want to be away for more than a year. We wouldn't have done the year if we didn't have to. But I think AT&T is a phenomenal facility. It's a great opportunity for our fans to go into the city, for people that live in the city to experience Cal football maybe that haven't in the past. So it's about getting the word out, and I think our fans, I think we've done a great job of that, and I think our fans are helping us do that as well.
Interesting you mentioned that, because talking to Michael Kendricks earlier in the program, he mentioned how excited he was as a player to play where the world champion Giants play their games. So I think the players are genuinely excited as well. in conjunction with Memorial Stadium, the High Performance Center, we've talked about this over the last few years, is finally at the stage where in the not too distant future, people are actually going to be using that. Isn't that the case?
Oh, absolutely. We will kind of stage ourselves into it this fall, and each time you go through it, you know, if it's a couple of weeks, the changes inside are dramatic, and it's you know, so looking forward to our student athletes, our coaches, all our administration, all having the opportunity to experience this phenomenal building, you know, I couldn't be happier that generations to come now of Cal student athletes, current and prospective, are going to have this opportunity. And you know, my only disappointment is that previous generations of student athletes didn't get that same chance.
Well, speaking of past, present, and future, coming up in 2012 will be an Olympic year. If it's anything like what we had in 2008, Cal is going to be not only well represented, but it's going to be donning a few medals around the shoulders as well. Yeah,
well, I've had the opportunity, Athens 04 and Beijing 08, to be around in the aftermath. I wasn't a Bear in the summer of 04, but I was certainly in September of 04, and both Athens and Beijing, you know, the numbers of the presence by California former student athletes, coaches. I believe Beijing was something like 42 current or former Cal student athletes or coaches involved with various different countries, won 17 medals, and if, as we like to say, if Cal were a country, we would have finished 16th in the medal count, just behind Canada and ahead of Brazil.
Okay, so I'm glad we finished ahead of Brazil. That was important.
That's absolutely important. Well, it's also important to finish ahead of Canada, with Bergeneau being from Canada.
Oh, that's right. There you go.
But we didn't do it in 08.
So he's got bragging rights for 4 years.
He's got bragging rights for 4 years, but we're going to take them away from him. So, but what a great presence, and what a great indication of not just the national success that we've had, but the international success that we've had with our athletes. And you know, I think it's just another one of those indicators of the comprehensive excellence of this campus.
Well, it's been great last year, and I'm sure it will be this year. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you throughout the course of the year as well.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, Sandy Barbour, Athletic Director at the University of California.